Hello my friends, Asoka the Geek here, and for this review we're going to take a look at the new McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Crisis on Infinite Earths wave of action figures. So this wave went up for pre-order in January, that's when I ordered it, and the controversy around these figures has been discussed quite a bit. So for those of you who aren't aware, these went up at a $39.99 or $95, $39.95 or $99 price point on the McFarlane Toys online store. It went up without any context, so a lot of people were thinking that, hey, this is going to be the new pricing for 2024. What's happening here? Why are these figures so expensive? And it was a fun few days of sort of guessing and assuming a lot of things. Later, we found out via McFarlane Toys that this is a limited run of figures exclusive to the McFarlane Toys online store. Reading between the lines, it sounds like for whatever reason, retail either didn't want this wave or it just didn't work out for retail. So the only way to get this wave to fans, again, this is all assumption on my part and the community's part, is that they had to put it on the McFarlane Toys online site at this inflated price point. So that's kind of the situation. Now, if you want to hear more about my thoughts about the whole situation, me, Brad the DC Universe Geek, Rob D Toys, we do the DC Infinite Hour live stream every week. If you're on my YouTube channel, just click on the live section and you can find the episode very easily where we discuss this. I'll also throw a link to that episode into the description. And we beat up the topic quite a bit on that episode, so please definitely watch that if you want to hear more thoughts about the whole price situation. Suffice it to say, though, these figures were not made to be $39.99 figures. They're not collector edition figures. They're not anything, I don't want to say they're not anything more than a standard release figure, because I think the Superman is pretty awesome and is a brand new sculpt. But even that would have just been a regular price figure if it was in the main line. So the $39.99 price that you're paying for these figures isn't going to get you a collector edition figure or anything more than what you'd usually get. Basically, what you're paying for now is an exclusive limited run figure. As of today, I think they were still available for order on the McFarlane Toys site, except for the Spectre. I think he has sold out. So that's kind of what you're paying for. So you probably won't ever see these at retail. I think once they're sold on the McFarlane Toys site, they're going to be gone. Just from what we're seeing with other lines and things like that, I don't think you're going to see these ending up at Ross this year or anything like that. Again, this is all my opinion and thoughts and assumptions. So this is a limited run of figures. So that's what you're paying for if you decide to purchase these. So that's totally up to you whether they are worthy of that price in your opinion. They were for me because obviously I bought them and here they are. And yes, but when I review these figures, you know, they're not going to be a $39.99 figure review because these were never designed to be that. You know, that's what you're paying for. But again, you're just paying for a limited run of figures. And again, not justifying this in any way. I think this should have just been a regular wave. Don't really know why this happened, but again, if you want to hear more of my thoughts and we can beat this up more in that live stream that I mentioned, I'll throw a link to that in the comments below. So enough about the context, the pricing and all that. Let's actually talk about the figures themselves. So we have Psycho Pirate, Kid Flash, Superman, the Spectre. Combine them all together with the Build-A-Figure and you have the Monitor in the back there. So yeah, let's take a look at each figure one by one and see how they stack up. All right, so let's take a look at Psycho Pirate. Here's the trading card that he comes with. Love that classic artwork on the trading card. At first I thought, is this a Flash trading card? But then I saw Psycho Pirate in the foreground there. So there's the data file on Psycho Pirate. And here he is. I'm not the biggest Psycho Pirate fan, to be honest with you. He's a cool character for the story. Very interesting character, but he's not like my favorite supervillain or anything like that. But I think just, first of all, he doesn't come with any accessories, so what you see is what you get. I believe this is the Blue Beetle buck that he's on, if I'm not mistaken. And I think it works fine for this character. His costume doesn't have a lot of armor pieces or things like that. I think they did a nice job of getting the sad faces and the happier faces on the suit. I like the mask. There is a platinum chase version of this figure as well. And I actually didn't get it. I have it. This is the one I got. But yeah, I'll put some images of that on my Instagram. But yep, here he is. There's the cape. A very soft plastic cape, and I think it looks nice. And yeah, there he is. Not too much to talk about here. I mean, this buck has been used before. You have a lot of good range of motion with the arms and the legs. I think it's painted nicely. I think the costume looks very comic book accurate to me from what I recall of the character in the comics. And by the way, I did watch the new Crisis on Infinite Earths animated movie that was recently released, the part 1 of it, and I thought that was fantastic. This is a hard story to follow, even when you're reading the comics, and I think they did a great job in the animated movie of making it adapting it for the small screen. And of course, there's the Crisis on the CW verse that they did as well, which I enjoyed. Definitely was a lot different from the comics, but I like what they were trying to do there. But anyways, there's Psycho Pirate. So yeah, not too much to really show with this guy. Let me know if you want to see more of Psycho Pirate. I'm more than happy to do additional reel or content. But hopefully this gives you a good idea of what you're getting with this figure. And I think it's well done. It looks like Psycho Pirate. The costume looks nice. The little faces are painted very nicely. And yeah, I think he looks pretty good. All right, so there's Psycho Pirate. On to the next figure. All right, up next we have the Kid Flash, or just Kid Flash. And honestly, I wasn't that excited when I first saw this figure in the promo pictures, but having it in person, I really like this figure. Again, it's using a previously released buck or body type, new head sculpt though, and I love that head sculpt, very Kid Flash, Wally West looking head sculpt. Wally West is my favorite Flash, so yes, I do like having another Wally West figure. Give us Wally in all of his suits and I would be very happy. So I actually like the way this turned out. One thing, the hands are small. D Hunter pointed this out, so I got to give him credit for this. Definitely check out his reviews. But he noticed that the right hand is bigger than the left, and the left definitely looks a little tiny for some reason. He does come with a set of opened or running hands as well, which I have over here to the side, so there's that. But yeah, the hands that he comes with, they're definitely small. The right hand actually looks fine now that I look at this, but the left hand, I don't know what happened there. I don't know why it's a smaller hand, so that is funny. But other than that, I really like this figure. I like the paint on it. It just looks super classic. Obviously it's a classic character, and it looks great. I think it looks really nice. But again, the smaller hands, don't know why that happens. And of course, you guys are thinking, this is $39.99 a figure. So yeah, once again, you're paying for a limited run of figures. Not trying to justify this in any way, but I'm just kind of pointing that out. But yeah, would have been nice if the hands were a little bit bigger, especially that left hand. But other than that, I love this Kid Flash. It's a very classic Kid Flash. Is going to look great on the shelf. At first I thought maybe he's too tall, but I do remember now that, he does become the Flash in this series, so he should be a little bit taller. This should be more of like a Nightwing looking Kid Flash as far as height goes, so I think this works for me anyways. But yeah, there he is. There is the Kid Flash, or just Kid Flash. I don't know why I keep throwing the in front of it. All he comes with, though, are the extra set of hands I just showed you, his base. Oh, I should have shown you the trading card. Trading card, here it is. Not using any classic artwork there. That's definitely a modern art style, but it's a nice trading card. And then there is the back of the trading card. All right, so there's the Kid. There is Kid Flash. Let's go ahead and take a look at the next figure. And there is the Spectre, one of my favorite figures of the wave. And I love the Spectre, one of my favorite characters. I love Dr. Fate, the Spectre. I love all those mystical DC characters so much. So yeah, very excited for this guy. Oops, sorry. Doesn't come with any accessories. Doesn't come with a flight stand. Really would have been nice if he came with a flight stand to have him in a fun hovering position, but he did not come with a fly stand. You can see the back or the inside of the cape has the sort of like universe looking feel to it, and you can see that in the trading card, kind of what they were going for with this. And I think it works pretty well. I think it's a really cool rendition of the Spectre, and it looks very similar to the trading card art. So yeah, I dig it. Love the way the cape is. I know this is using a different, it might be using a reused body, but I don't know which one it is. Could be the Blue Beetle one. I don't know. I just love this figure. I love the paint on his skin. Love the green they used for this. There is a variant of this as well, the Hal Jordan as Spectre. Really want that guy. I gotta track that down. I'll probably have to go to eBay for this, because again, this is exclusive to the McFarlane Toys online store. That's gonna be the only way to get any of these, including the platinums. So yeah, there's that. The head is really nice. You can see that they painted, the inside of it there. I think that gives it a really nice effect. Now, this is just a super cool Spectre figure. Articulation is good. Again, doesn't have a lot of armor or anything encumbering it, so you have some good range of motion there. But yeah, I think he's a really nice looking Spectre action figure. I do hope they re-release this as a single release at some point. Again, right now this is only exclusive to the McFarlane online store, but I really hope they do another variation of this, make it more widely available for folks who weren't able to pick this up. It is the only figure that is sold out. I think the bundle is still available, but the figure itself is sold out. So I really do hope they do another run of these, because it's a really nice figure and people love the Spectre. So I hope we get another version or a re-release of this. All right, on to the next figure. All right, so I'm saving Superman for last because he's my favorite, but here's the Monitor. Here is the build of figure. First of all, it was super easy to build this. All the parts fit together nicely, so that was nice. The leg's about to come off now as I'm saying that, but that's okay. It'll go by, clicks right back in. And I gotta say, I really like this Monitor. I think the textures of the black, really nicely done. The gloves look great. The cape, love like this chainmail look to the cape. Super nice. It doesn't come with a trading card or anything, but it's the collect and connect. I wish it did though. But yeah, really nicely done. It looks very accurate to the comic book artwork, the style of it anyways. And it's just a really nice figure. It looks very classic, but also like it was built with modern fabrics and textures. So it gives it a cool classic yet modern look. And I just really dig this figure. I love the gold around this piece here. Silver looks nice. The face sculpt I really dig. I think my favorite version of the Monitor, though, I mean, there aren't that many versions of him outside of the comic, is the live action one they did for the CW Crisis. I love the actor who they got to play the Monitor in that. I think he did a phenomenal job. And yeah, I think it's a cool character. Such a classic, iconic DC character. And I think they did a great job with it. The articulation is really nice on this as well. You can make some really cool poses. I don't really think he does a lot of like, oh, there goes the leg. A lot of like ninja poses in the comics from my recollection there. Let's get the leg back on. Hold on. Let me go off camera for a sec and get this leg reattached there. An emergency reattachment there, but there he is. So, I don't really remember him doing a lot of poses, but I think you can pose this guy really nicely. There's the foot articulation, the great range of motion with the head. So you can really have him do a lot of fun poses as well. But yeah, I really like this. Again, the quality, I think the textures for me really do it. I just love the textures of it. The head sculpt looks fantastic. Again, guys, I know I'm kind of breezing through these, each figure. If you want to see more, just let me know and I'll do some additional content. But there he is. There is the Monitor. All right, guys, one figure left. Let's take a look at Superman. All right, guys, so here he is. Here's the Man of Steel. Here is Superman. So this is an older version of Superman from the Crisis. I think it was the Earth 2 Superman or Earth 1 Superman. I forget. Oh, I guess I have the bio there on the trading card, which I should show you, which would help. So there he is. Yep, Superman of Earth 2. So there's the trading card. Does he look like the Superman of Earth 2? I think it's a good attempt. It doesn't look like this particular card. But to me, this looks like an Uncle Superman. This looks like the way they used to draw older characters, where they actually look like an older person, all wrinkly and all that. Later on, I think like when Alex Ross did an older Superman, they made him look cooler, looking older, you know, with a little gray around the temples. But overall, he still looked like Superman and pretty much hasn't aged much. This version, though, definitely looks like more like a normal human aging. You can't really see it in the camera too much, but there is white in the hair as well. I love this head sculpt, personally. It totally reminds me of the Earth 2 Superman, like what they were going for here. Also reminds me of that series, I think, Generations, with Superman and Batman. I think they were aging in real time from when they first appeared. I think that's what that comic book was. So for me, this works. I like the head sculpt quite a bit. I think it's a cool, older, like grandpa-looking Superman. And yeah, and then this is a brand new body. So this is a brand new Superman body that I think they're going to be using going forward. And I love this body. It is just really nicely done. I think the proportions are really nice for Superman. Not too beefy, not too slim. I think it's just a great body. Then you have the wired cape. And I am loving these new wired capes from McFarlane. It just adds so much. It's funny, you just make a small change like that, adding a wired cape, and you can do so much more with these figures now. And then you have this big yellow S on the back. I'm a fan of the yellow S, and honestly, when I saw how big this was in the promo pictures, I was like, man, that is too big. But having it in person, I love how big the yellow S is. It just looks phenomenal to me anyways. In person, I love when the cape's folded, you can still see that yellow S clearly. And this cape, man, it's just so much fun to do posing with. It's just, I love it. Now, the biggest gripe with this figure, a lot of people have pointed out, is the belt. The front of the belt looks okay. It's got the red belt loops, a little thin, but that's fine. But they did not paint the back of the belt for some reason. I don't know what happened. It should have been painted. Don't know why it isn't. Now, for me personally, this is going to be on the shelf looking like this, so I don't care too much. But guys, at the end of the day, you know, these are $39.99 figures, even though they weren't designed to be. But even for a $20 figure, the back should have been painted. I mean, you know, most of us who are buying these are collectors who, you know, really want our figures to have really good paint applications and all that, and rightfully so. So when you don't paint the back of the belt like that, it definitely frustrates folks. And especially when you make a home run like this, in my opinion, a figure that's this cool, and then, you know, sorry, I should get that card out of the way. The back of the belt isn't painted. It just, you know, just diminishes it. So yeah, especially at this higher price point, it's like another little punch in the gut there. So yeah, but other than that, I would definitely still buy this figure again because, man, I just love this figure. And he's going to look so nice on the shelf. Just playing around with this. This reminds me of the Superpower Superman. I don't know. That's the vibe is on the chest area and the logo here. And I love the blues, the lighter blue, the baby blues, the whole cape. Oh, I just really love this figure. Back of the belt aside, I just dig this figure. I love the head sculpt. I love the cape. Love the colors they use. I'm so excited to see the next round of figures they do, or the next Superman that they do using this buck. I'm sure they're going to use this many more times, and I'm fine with that because I think it's a great body for Superman. But yeah, sorry, I got off my tangent there. As far as articulation go, really nicely articulated figure. Great range of motion there. You see the neck or the head moves really nicely. You can make some really fun Superman poses with this figure. Ab crunch, still no ab crunch though, really. You know? Come in the back, but not really forward. But there you go. There is Superman. All right, let's take one final look at all of these figures together. All right, guys, so there are all the figures together. This has been a long review, so I will do some more content, like more shorts, kind of doing more comparisons to other figures, things like that. Also, my Instagram channel, Asoka the Geek. Definitely follow me there. I'll be doing some more comparisons and more footage of these figures. But final thoughts on these figures. Superman, the Spectre, Kid Flash, and the Monitor are my favorites. Psycho Pirate is done very well. I'm just not a huge Psycho Pirate fan. But I guess at the end of the day, the question is this worth the $39.99 that these are selling for? A couple of different ways to look at this. I know I said I was going to talk about this more, but I guess I am. They were not produced for that price point. So obviously, I think I've shown you enough of these figures for you to see that. So the next question is, if you don't buy these figures now, will you have the opportunity to buy these figures again? If you want them, that is, obviously. I don't think the Monitor, Psycho Pirate, Kid Flash, you're going to see in single releases. I doubt. Maybe Kid Flash, but I don't think the Monitor or Psycho Pirate. You probably a good chance you won't see those again as a single release. This Superman, you're definitely going to see that body being used again. I doubt you'll see that head sculpt being used again. So if you love that head sculpt and you like this version of Superman, I don't think you'll see that again. The Spectre, I just really hope they do something with this and do a single release, because he already sold out on the McFarlane site. He's a hugely popular character. So I wouldn't be surprised if you see another McFarlane version of the Spectre. Again, guys, these are all my thoughts, assumptions, observations, so I have no knowledge of whether you will see these again or not. So again, you gotta have had to factor that in if you decide to purchase these. For me, I'm definitely glad I picked up this wave, and even though they're $39.99, I should have mentioned this earlier, they're bundled together at a discounted price. There's a coupon you could use. I think it's MTS10. That'll save you 10% off as well. So you could get these down from that $39.99 to almost like around $30 a figure if you bundle it together. So look at it that way as well. And there's 5 figures here, including the Monitor. So I think if you go for the bundle, it's not terribly expensive, but again, not trying to justify that higher price point, but yeah, that's kind of the situation you have here. You saw my thoughts on the figures. Hopefully I showed you enough footage of the figures to make your own decision. As always, let me know if you have any questions, and hopefully this video was helpful to you in some way. But that's about it. Overall, I love these figures. Glad I picked them up. Love that Superman. Love the Monitor. Kid Flash, even with his smaller left hand. The Spectre is really awesome. Psycho Pirate's done really well as well. And yeah, there you have it. So thanks for watching. Consider subscribing if you don't already. And that's about it. Have a great day.